If you could leave one piece of advice, for
Surround yourself by people that are like-minded to you and get rid of like all of the fake people in your life.
hello everyone, and welcome to the Rohan Plus One show. With me in the studio today, I have a very special guest. He has his own business, and introducing Ishaan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. So, would you like to tell us a bit more about, yourself and like what you do at the moment?
Yeah, so I am a TikTok creator. I started out making revision videos whilst I was a student, and then I've started to sort of move towards lifestyle and travel, and now I'm going straight into entrepreneurship. Throughout like studying and creating videos, I started a company which was initially a way to make income, like take an income out for myself as a creator, but then that sort of progressed, and now I've got a team of 11 working with me.
Oh, nice. So how, in terms, because you say you've got your business, you're doing content creator, and then did you do your A-levels, right?
I did my A-levels.
So how were you able, to manage all that together? Like, how did you find a way, to get everything done, essentially?
It was tough. I think year 12, I overestimated the stuff that I could do. So I took 4 A-levels at the start: biology, French, Latin, and English, and they were tough. I ended up dropping biology because I was like, I'm drowning in all of this work. I couldn't keep up with it. And that was before I started my company. That was just with TikTok, and like I had a tuition company before that. And yeah, it was going really well. But the time, it was just like, it was hard to do all of my work. So I dropped biology, made it a lot easier because I had tons of free periods. And then I decided to go full time into content creation while still being a student. And I kind of neglected my year 12. I was so on my game. I was doing my work, my schoolwork, getting my A stars and A's. Year 13, the most important year, is when I kind of let my guard down and started focusing on the company, which I guess I'm hoping it's a good investment for the future. I don't think grades define you, and year 12 me, year 11 me is going to be so disappointed in me because I was the guy that was like, A stars, I need that A star. I don't care. I cannot see a B on my paper, on my record, like, what do you call it? Like
Results. Yeah, result sheet. Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
get a B no matter what. But now I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to open my results. I couldn't care less if I got that B, because I know that I can still, I don't need my A levels, and I don't believe that a Latin or a biology A level will allow me to do X, Y, Z in the future.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like going to university and stuff, it's not as essential as it was before, right? Would you agree on that?
100%. I think so many more alternatives now, like degree apprenticeships. 100% get on that game, because I think university is now a liability. You're spending 9, 12, 18, no, that's times, and maths is not my forte, but 27 grand just on tuition fees. Plus you have to get out all of the accommodation fees. You end up getting debt for 50, 60k. I don't think that's worth it for the experience. Is 60k actually worth the uni experience?
See, I think it depends. Like for me, I was in uni, and during my second year, COVID hit. So I kind of missed out towards the end.
You have to pay your full fees?
Yes. Yes. What helped though, online exams really helped me pass my degree and got the grade I got. Without that, I don't think I would have passed or done well, But it depends. Like nowadays, a degree, for me, it depends on what career you want to do to have a degree. Like, for example, like doctor, dentist.
Yeah.
Like certain careers will require you to go to study.
Doctors, you can get a doctor apprenticeship. So like you don't have to go to uni to become a doctor. Have you heard of that?
No, I think that's something new.
Yeah, they recently introduced it, which I think it's really good, because uni can only get you somewhere. It's more about the skills that you actually need to gain to do what you need to do.
Also, there's that other alternative nowadays where people can, study abroad. What do you think of that idea?
I wanted to study abroad.
Yeah.
I initially wanted to do law and French. Then I was like, is law really for me? No, it's not. Too much reading. Then I moved to business. But then I was like, is business for me? I've got my business. I kind of know what I'm doing. Is 3 years learning what I already kind of know worth it? like sure, like there's obviously going to be stuff that I don't know, and it's going to be really useful. But I think I would just take the risk, see what happens this year. If my plan fails, then I've still got I can still go to uni.
No, definitely. Like living abroad would be a completely different experience. We will touch on that later as well. So tell me about, your school life, what you would, do with your content creating during school and.
School life is pretty much, so I moved school for sixth form to a really, really academic school in Northwest London. I went from being the top of my year to basically like the bottom of my year. Not bottom, but as in like I was definitely not up there. I was like, because everyone around me is just incredibly smart and I'm here just like just surviving. It was tough because I just felt the pressure, and then pressure from TikTok. I need to get these grades, but I treated A levels like a course rather than something where I have to actually pass. So I was like, I'll go into these lessons trying to learn something, not trying to pass an exam, because I know I can pass an exam. But if you change your mindset just to say, this is a course, I'm learning something, I'm doing this for myself rather than the grade that I'm getting at the end of the day, then that really did help me and helped my motivation to actually learn the languages that I'm learning. Because without that, if I'm just focusing on that grade, am I going to be remembering my French in 2 years' time? Probably not. Like, I'm not doing the A level just so I can forget it after 2 years. I'd rather keep up my French skills.
Yeah, no, I understand. And do you think, like, as we're both South Asian, being like in a South Asian family, do you think that adds to the pressure? How like our parents or like our family would be like, you want to get the top grades. Obviously, they want the best for us. But then sometimes they would like compare, to other kids and stuff. On, for example, if you get like an A and you got like 8%, they'll be like, why did you not get 90? Do you think that kind of adds to the academic?
I'm lucky because I started off being really, really dumb. So I did not have high expectations.
Oh, really?
I think my parents had high expectations from me so I went to like a school that went from year 1 to year 8. And I was, again, pretty much one of the dumbest person I came 27 out of 30 in the year group. Like, they ranked us. It was that academic. They ranked us from 1 to 30. They gave you your place on parents' evening and they ranked you. So I remember I couldn't get above like 50% in any exam. Maths, I'd get 30%. Science, I'd get 50%. English, I'd get 30%. Like, it was that tough. It hadn't clicked with me yet. I think, so year 3 to year 8, I was just like there, not doing well. All of my subjects were just bad. Latin was the only one that I actually liked, and I'd be able to get 90%, 100%. So I kept that on till A level. French, I hated everything about it. Just did it for A level, don't know why. But then year 9 came. I switched schools to go to like a year 9 to year 13 school, but I left there in year 11. That's when it kind of clicked. I ended up, maybe this is because everybody in that school was just so smart, but I ended up going from like the dumbest in my year to one of the smartest in the year.
Okay.
And I don't know how, but I somehow just clicked. And the thing is, that also gives you the motivation. Like, when you're surrounded by, like, it gives you motivation just to keep going. But in that old school, I felt under so much pressure. I just couldn't thrive there. But in the next school, I was able to thrive, and that helped. So I think because of the old school, my parents didn't have high hopes for me with my grades. But that switched for GCSEs. I did really well for GCSEs. I got all 8s and 9s.
Oh, nice.
And then A levels came, started my company, started my TikTok. My parents knew that I was starting this TikTok. They saw the money coming in. They saw all of this coming in. And I was like, I think I'm going to prioritize my company and that rather than my A levels. So I did. Obviously, I did a lot of work for my A levels year 12. Like, if that's the thing that makes me get an A, that is going to be the year 12 work that I put in. Year 13, I really just slowed down, focused on the company. But yes, I think my brother probably has the pressure.
Okay.
Because he's been smart, like, since day one, academically. Me, I think I have to full on work for it. Year 8, I was working too hard and I just failed. I ended up getting a D in English. I couldn't get into like one of the schools that I wanted to go to. But that taught me, like, that showed me that, who actually cares about this grade at the end of the day.
Okay.
You can do so much more.
Definitely. So what made you want to do the content creating as well? What was the motivation behind it?
It started off as a joke.
Oh, okay.
Most people, it starts off as a joke, and then you see that it actually has potential. The potential goes to like, oh God, it's actually doing something. I'm getting 10,000 views, 12,000 views, and those views really motivated me to just keep going. Kept going, started making educational content to motivate myself. That was motivating other people whilst also motivating me, because my grades started to increase, my views started to increase, and the money started to increase. And I was like, wait, I'm onto something here.
Yeah.
And then I did that and kept going. And then from there, started the company. And then it started as a joke.
Oh, okay. So what videos were you doing at the start then? Was it
Comedy.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was a different account. It was like now it's a dead account. It only has 20k followers, but I've privated all of it.
Okay, close it off.
It was like a comedy account. I was making skits about like brown parents and South Asian households. And have you ever seen Never Have I Ever?
Yes, yes,
like,
yes.
Doing those skits, like
Almost.
yeah, past me, and that like a few of the videos might still be out there, maybe on my Instagram tags, because they got reposts and everything. But that failed because the comedy market was just too saturated. So I found a niche which had nothing, which was education. And
It just built up. So in terms of, so as you said, you're getting the money for content creating. Were you making enough of it, do you think, like to kind of, do your own things, go out and stuff? Or did it take, is it something, I guess, that takes a long time to get enough money from, like the content creating?
yeah, so I think, so yeah, I've been able to do my own things with my money. I haven't had to ask my parents for money at all. Since the age of, I think, 13, I've been making my own money. So I started off with paper rounds, did paper rounds. I did get my dad to drive me though, because I couldn't, like a small me, couldn't walk with like 50 papers. That was earning me £15 a week. That then I saved up for my laptop, even my Netflix. Well, actually Netflix, no. Spotify I pay for and have paid for since I was 13. My phone I had to pay for. My SIM card I had to pay for. It's not like my parents have actually, I've asked my parents, which is a good thing, because it taught me like even when I have kids, there's no way I'm going to give them money. They're going to have to do their own thing to make money. So that I had that. And then I was looking for part-time jobs, but couldn't, because then COVID happened. So I was like, oh, I might as well start tutoring. So I started tutoring, earning £5 an hour, then slowly increasing it, where I was earning a good £200 a month from tutoring. Myself. From there, I built a tutoring agency where I hired tutors. I basically offloaded all of my work. I didn't have any when I was tutoring anymore. I had all of the tutors doing it. I was taking commission, £5 per lesson or £8 per lesson, whatever. That again got me to around £400 a month. This was when I was 16, 15,
Nice.
which was because I wasn't doing anything. I was basically a free man and I had this income coming in. I used to invest that into the S&P 500. And then I had content, because I was a content creator, I had brand sponsorships coming in and product placement, etc. So that also did really well. And obviously that keeps increasing every like 100,000 followers or so. And now, and after that, because I made over the tax allowance per annum, I created the limited company to put all of my money in there, put all of the sort of the sponsorship money in there, because that's another asset. And then I draw an income from that limited company, which is 12.5 grand a year, because I don't really need any more, and keep the rest into that company, because the company would only pay corporation tax. So everything in that company is what I'm earning as a creator and what the company earns as well.
So let's talk, like diving in a bit more about your business now. So could you like tell us, how you started it?
So it started a year ago. I didn't plan for it to be a marketing agency, but I labeled it as a marketing agency because it was the closest thing as I was doing. So basically, it solely started at the beginning for a place to put my funds as a creator, rather than taking funds like from the brand directly as into my bank account, because then I'd have to pay quite a bit of tax on that. So all of that just went into the company. From the company, I was just like, okay, so I have this company, I might as well do something with it. So I was like, let's actually just start up a marketing agency. So I called 7 of my friends who are like creators in the education industry. And I was like, hey, do you want to, if I create a marketing agency, if I create a talent agency, would you join and sign up as a creator under my roster? what you'll get is we'll manage you, we'll represent you, we'll give you brand deals, which is essentially a way for them to make extra revenue. We'll give you your own email mailbox. The good thing about us is that we would give them access to their inbox. So many other agencies, like big main agencies, they will not give creators access to their mailbox because they want to handle everything. So we give them full transparency. We take 20% as an agency of whatever we get them or whatever comes through their mail. And so I got 7 people. I hadn't started anything up at that point. I had no team. It was just me. And I promised them that service. So I basically lied to them to get them on board. So I signed them on board to the company, still having no staff. So I quickly scrambled to get a team together, hired my first member of staff called Anna. We, again, basically had a massive brainstorm to like discuss how this could work. We got tons of clients in the first couple of months, got tons of creators. We like choose our creators really, really specifically. From there, we've now created a community. All thanks to like one creator brought us together. His name's Ken. He brought us together at one event. And from that event, we were basically able to create this agency full of education creators, obviously now expanding the education niche. And we act as like a middleman in case so we stop them being like exploited as creators, because there was a time where these education creators, all of us, were being approached by X brand trying to take advantage of us as like not paying us, not doing this, but they wanted all of this for free. And we as a middleman stopped that from happening.
So what made you want to start up your own, business as well?
I think the freedom, like I don't have to go, like my working hours are really, really flexible. First of all, I don't have to work the 9 to 5. I can work the 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And I really like doing that because people work around me rather than me having to work around them. So I have time on a Monday to come here to London just to film this podcast, because if I was in a 9 to 5, I wouldn't. But that don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing the 9 to 5, because you need to start with a 9 to 5, and it's so tough to get out of to start your own thing because you need the funds, you need X. And I wish I did have that 9 to 5 when I was 16, during the lockdown. Unfortunately, I was going to try working at Boots. I wish I had that, because that would have allowed me to actually save up, and I could have done so much more, and it would have given me that experience. And I wish I would do that, and I still really, really want to just get that experience in.
Okay. So how old were you, can I ask, when you set this up?
Set up the company?
Yeah.
I was 17.
So that young, and you set up the company just like that?
Yeah.
Wow, guys. 7, that's incredible. Because not nowadays, I don't know. I mean, obviously people are on social media and stuff, but not many people might not have that, idea like you at that age to set up a business, right?
Mm.
So in terms of, people that want to, get into this nowadays, get into a side hustle, get their own business, work for themselves, and, do the content creating, would you give any advice on how to, start it?
So if you're thinking of doing it, first of all, do it. It's so worth it, but it takes a lot of time. So my company would never have been a company if I hadn't have started in 2020. So 2020, 21, 22, 20. How many years has that been? 3 years.
Yeah, 23 now.
3 years. 3 years it took me to get to this stage, and I still haven't I still haven't reached the peak of my growth. I still really want to grow much larger. So it takes hell of a lot of time to do. It does not happen overnight. And that's the thing. I wish somebody had told me it doesn't happen overnight, because I tried my best to get this thing going overnight. I tried to do everything I could, but it won't happen. Take your time, do something that you enjoy, because you don't want to do something you hate, or choose a position that you enjoy. I know that there's so much money to be made in waste management, or I know that waste management, even it sounds so boring, but there's a lot of money to be made there. But start with something you can enjoy. Somebody came up to me yesterday, I was in Camden, and they asked me, they said, you've got your own business, I really want to start mine, I'm in second year college or whatever, what would you recommend? So the first, go straight to your passion. He said he was good at cooking, so I was like, why not try making a cooking masterclass, or start YouTube as well, because YouTubers earn a lot as well through AdSense, through sponsorship. YouTube content creation, again, really good money. It just takes a lot of time. Find good people, that you can work with, that you can trust, that can communicate effectively. And you need to work on yourself before you even start. Like, communication skills, I could not talk. 3 years ago, if you asked me to come on this podcast, I would be completely different. I'd be talking like monotone. I'd be having no inflection. I wouldn't know how to talk to you. And communication skills are so crucial, especially when you're like writing emails back and forth, taking Zoom meetings, because you don't want to bore them. You want to show you're enthusiastic. So find something you love, monetize off of that. If you can't, find something else. There's so many opportunities. You just be creative. As long as you know you can turn over a profit. So let's just say I gave you £100. What are you going to do with this £100? Where are you going to spend this £100? What are you going to buy? And then with that £100, you want to tell me how much you're going to make back. So you obviously want to, the lowest you want to do is break even, get that £100 back. But it's what you make on top of that. So do you want to make £40 profit? Then you have to factor in the time. How long did it actually take you to start this going? Was it 4 hours? Then you made £10 an hour. But what you really want to do, can that £100 get you £500? Can that £100 investment get you £1,000? Something like that.
Yeah, and I think nowadays with, content creating and having your own kind of business stuff, it does, like, consistency is, I think, key here, right? People, some people, might just, do a few videos or do it for a few months, stop, then do it again for a few months, then stop. How would you say is the best way to be consistent in that field?
Think of the end goal, because if you're not consistent, it will not reward you. Consistency is so, if you're a YouTuber, consistency is like the thing that you need to focus on no matter what. TikTok, it's don't really like. I've been consistent. I post every 1 to 2 days, which is fine. YouTube, I'm not consistent, and YouTube, I'm telling you, you earn so much, and I really will. I want to earn that. The TikTok pays you nothing in comparison, like, to AdSense. I'm just not. I'm too lazy, and I like, that's something I really want to do, but I'm too lazy.
Have you done any videos on YouTube?
Yeah, I've got 20,000 followers.
Oh, nice.
I haven't posted in 2 months, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you, for example, to get to your, your followers on TikTok, on YouTube? How long did it take you for that growth to?
So 20K, I started my channel in 2020. So 3 years to get 20,000 followers, which is so long. And then TikTok, it took me 2 years to get 350,000. TikTok is a lot easier, but TikTok, again, it's hit and miss.
Yeah, it depends. Like, some videos will hit, the views, and some might not, right?
Yeah.
Right, so your business, how does it run, like, day to day? What would be the normal day to day?
So we work a lot with creators. So what my team does is we connect the creators with brands, we connect brands with creators. So if let's say Apple, we did a collab with Apple 6 months ago, which was crazy. If Apple wants to work with influencer 1, 2, and 3, they'd reach out to us they'd reach out to the influencer, but it would go to us because we control their mailbox. We'd essentially negotiate on the creator's behalf, and we'd say, hey, hope you're well. My name's Kinari. I'm the influencer manager here at TapLab. So glad you reached out to Somali Safro. Please see his rates below, and you put his rates down, and then put all of the clauses about exclusivity, usage rights, things like that. And then you'd say, if you're interested in working with any other creators we have on our roster, please feel free to reach out. So-and-so, best wishes, Kinari. Then they'd be taken to our talent roster. So if they want to create a wider campaign, which brings us in more money, brings the creators in more money, they'd pick out 4 or 5 creators. We'd get 20% commission on each one of those creators. Okay, that's the baseline business model. Then we'd have a team who does specifically brand related work. So we work solely with brands, revamp their social media. So restaurant, for example, Saucony's, we manage their Instagram and TikTok page.
Yep.
So we shoot in their restaurant. They pay us a retainer a month, and we basically just go in the restaurant, shoot as much as we can, edit as much as we can for the month, and batch create all the content, get them their engagement up on their profiles, get people to come go to the restaurant. Same goes for educational brands. We revamp their pages, do influencer marketing, and basically we just control their social media.
Okay, so nice. So in terms of picking people you want to kind of work with in terms of content creating, is that quite selective, or do you like anyone kind of, you would like help with kind of anyone that's looking to grow within social media?
It is very selective. We've got two aspects to this. So we have micro creators and we have macro creators. Macro creators are the ones that either approach us or we approach them, and we have to select them based on their engagement, based on their community. Community is what we really look for. You have to have a strong community. Engagement is one thing, like you can get hundreds of thousands of views, but having that tight-knit community that you actually interact with is the thing we look for. Micro creators, we have them on board. They're not on our roster, but we work with them. So anything that we feel like they'd be interested in, some smaller campaigns perhaps, or if a brand's looking for UGC work, we'd go straight to the micro creators because they'd want to work with the micro creators because they want that asset, the video only. As the macro creators are more used for engagement, publicity, etc.
Okay, nice. So where do you want to, end up with the business now? Where do you want to take it to?
So I think grow it for the next 2 years and then sell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much would be your ideal fit? I know you want to sell it in 2 years' time, but how much would you be looking to sell it for when it comes?
So competitors, one of our competitors, who's obviously nowhere near us in terms, like we're nowhere near them. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
But we want to get to that point. So I think they sold for 4 million. That's what we obviously want to aim to do, but right now we're nowhere near that. But what we really need to do is structure our organization in a way that we can do that. And we just need to build and create more relationships between creators, brands. We need to get ourselves out there because all of these big agencies, they're there. Like H&M will go to them, Apple will go to them. Nobody will actually directly contact us to do their marketing. They'd contact the influencers because they want the influencers. But maybe we need to switch that as an agency. We need to be up there rather than down here, because I guarantee you no one would have heard of TapLab unless they've worked with us.
No, I understand. And how would you, help like people, or like, would you give any advice for someone that's starting to do content creating and stuff? What would be the best way?
You have to keep going. It's a very long journey, and you're gonna have like moments where you are like, is it even worth it? Like the thing is, views control the way you create content. And I'm telling you, it does get to you. If your views are like 200,000, one day they get to 10K, you're going to be like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Like, have I fallen off? It's like, and the thing is, it always comes back. They will come back. But there are those days where you will get a very low number of views. But it's not you. There's something wrong.
Yeah, the
algorithm that's changed, or it's maybe you're not doing this, and it does get to you, but you just have to think about just step outside and overcome.
And with that, have you ever felt at a time, because you've got your business, you had your studies, you've had your social media, content creating, was there ever a time where you feel like, I just can't do this anymore? Did you ever feel like, just stepping aside from all of it and just dropping everything?
Yeah. So I officially left the company for 2 months.
Okay.
I left, but I was still working a bit. I stepped down as director. I made somebody else director for 2 months who was acting director whilst I focused on my A-levels. So I paid him a really good salary, to be honest, for the 2 months. And I was still working, but I basically offloaded all of my work, company work. Didn't do anything apart from the odd admin stuff. That was like complete freedom for me because I could focus on my A-levels. But I didn't want to focus on my A-levels because I was like, my company's like booming at this point because it's our busiest season. I don't want to do my A-levels. So I kept creeping back to my company and focusing on that. And yeah.
So it kept you kind of occupied, right?
Yeah.
So how would you have, balance your social life with all that as well?
I think my social life is really good. Yeah. I just don't show it on TikTok.
Okay.
Because that I've started to show it. I've got like a close circle of friends. The thing is, when I started creating content, like my friendship group was from like there to like a tiny little circle now. And I've just got like a core of friends. It used to, like, my friendship was so big, but then everything just I lost so many fake friends, and along the way I just shrunk it down to a core, and I'm just happy with these. Yeah.
Set people, right? I think that's what happens as well. I mean, when you're at school, you want to be like, the popular kid. You want to talk to as many people as you want.
And I was never the popular kid. I was never, ever the popular kid in school.
So in terms of future aspirations and future goals with the business, I know you said you wanted to sell it. Would you ever think about going international as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm moving to Dubai.
Oh, nice.
Hoping to do stuff out there. But I've got 5 main goals. I've literally got my wallpaper on my...
Oh, have you got it?
I've got a wallpaper full of all of my goals. So number 1, be a rich, wealthy man. Number 2, travel to 100 countries before 21. Number 3, move to Dubai. Number 4, don't open my A-level result. Number 5, get better friends.
Oh.
Number 6, be happy and successful. Number 7, live in a penthouse. Number 8, give to charity.
Nice. So how many have you kind of gone through already, would you say?
I give to charity.
Yeah.
Moving to Dubai, kind of in the progress. I'm happy. I wouldn't call myself successful yet. I want to be successful, but yeah. So I'll find out. Let's say 5 years, we can do this again.
Yeah, all right, yeah, and see where you've gone up to. They're saying you want to do 100 countries
before
21, right?
Yeah.
How do you planning on doing that? Because that's like quite a lot.
So I've done 45.
Oh wow.
So far. Yeah. I did 20 last year, and that was during like school time.
20.
Yeah.
So during school time and classes and everything, 20 countries.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did 5 countries in 5 days in the summer.
Really? So let's go into it a bit more then. Like how did you manage all of that?
So I start from the beginning.
Yeah. Go on then.
Okay. So beginning of the year last year, so 2022, I went to Malta.
Yeah. After
Malta, I went to Spain. After Spain, I went to Ibiza, Spain again.
Yep.
And then Spain again. And then after Spain, I went to Slovakia. After Slovakia, I went to... Can I just get the map?
Go on. That's absolutely... Oh, you got a map as well for it?
What's the app called? I've got like I have like an app that... Bean. It's called Bean.
Okay.
My countries. Okay, so last year I went to Austria, Bosnia, Croatia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Italy, Ireland, Latvia, Lithuania, Malta, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Spain, Wales, the Vatican City, Scotland, and the United States, and Canada, and India.
Oh my! Wow, that's a hell of a lot of countries in a short time. So, you're traveling, stuff. So, did you go on most of them on your own, or did you?
Most of them were on my own. I did solo travels. I did the 5 countries in 5 days, all solo travel.
Okay.
I went Norway with my friend. I went Finland, Latvia, Ireland, Estonia with one of my friends. I went India with my family, Canada with my family, Spain with my family, Croatia with my family, Bosnia with my family.
Okay. So in terms of solo traveling, do you prefer it? Because it is quite different,
I like solo traveling because I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Like I have my own schedule. I don't have to like follow people around. I would do it again, but I feel like I get bored. Like sometimes I get bored, but I like my own company. I just sit there and just...
Yeah, and I feel like with that, it depends. Like I went to America, like I was telling you about earlier. And because I kept myself so occupied, I didn't feel the need for someone to come with me or, it was like such a great time, I just kept myself busy and just enjoyed it. And, going alone as well, it's a completely different experience. I guess you kind of find out a bit more about yourself as well in that as well. And I would recommend it for sure.
It's an experience. You have to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I will do it again as well soon. It's definitely one of the things that I will do. So we're gonna play a little game now, little rapid fire round. So I'll ask you a few questions, and you've got 30 seconds to answer them. Ready?
Okay.
So favorite video game?
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Favorite subject at school?
Latin.
GCSEs or A level? The harder exams?
GCSEs.
Favorite year in school?
Year 9.
School dinners or packed lunch?
Oh, packed lunch.
Packed lunch, yeah. Favorite Indian dish?
Chili paneer.
1 million on TikTok or YouTube?
YouTube.
Manual or automatic car?
Automatic.
Dream holiday destination?
The Maldives.
Maldives. And dream car?
Oh, Lamborghini or Ferrari.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's done.
Okay.
So now let's close off the show. What we'll do is just talk about, your future goals, your future aspirations. Where do you want to be, in like 5 years' time?
5 years' time, I think I want to live abroad. I want to get out the UK, live abroad, completely built on passive income, so I won't have to do a lot of work. And I'd like to be in a penthouse. I'd like to have a dog. And yeah.
Nice. So, and I know you said earlier that you were moving to Dubai, right? So that's a permanent thing now.
I hope so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what made you, we'll just quickly go into that as well. What made you want to move there out of places?
The tax, first of all, get that out of the way. And then I think the the weather, I love hot climate, and the crime. There's no crime in Dubai. But UK, I'm sorry, but you're going to, just too much happening here. Stabbings, people stealing your watches, getting mugged. Not for me.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And yeah, as you said, Dubai's got nice weather, everything.
Yeah.
And it's a lot safer. So why not? Are you quite nervous though? Moving somewhere completely different.
It's not hit me yet. I go to Dubai quite a lot for work, so I don't think it's gonna hit me, and I'll be back every 2 months.
Okay. So you want to come back quite regularly and stuff. Yeah, because going abroad is a different experience. Like I went for a month. I went to Ukraine, out of all places, Yeah, I was only there for a month, but it's completely different, and it is a good experience. Like you'll definitely enjoy it, and especially you're in Dubai, so I reckon that's gonna be something you're gonna enjoy.
Oops.
And yeah, and with your business, you're gonna be working from Dubai, right?
Yeah, I'll be working from Dubai.
And would you want to set up an office there?
No, I don't see the need. For me, I don't my company doesn't need an office. It's all remote. I can do it from.
So you can just work from anywhere then. Oh, that's perfect then. So definitely, yes. And thank you for coming on the show today. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries. And I want to wish you, the best of luck for your future, endeavors, and best of luck for Dubai. If you could leave one piece of advice, for students and content creators, and people that want to have their own business, what would you?
Surround yourself by people that are like-minded to you, and get rid of all of the fake people in your life, because that's one thing that I find it really hard to cut people off, and I just can't. So from the start, surround yourself with actual good people. If you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you're going to be a millionaire. If you surround yourself by 5 people who just get drunk at parties, you're going to be one of those. Surround yourself by good people, and get rid of the toxic people as soon as possible.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's a wrap, guys. Make sure you to subscribe and like this video, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.